That's funny. A new study published at the American Science Review found that if you're an asshole troll online, there's a pretty good chance you're the same way in the brick and mortar world. Researchers used representative surveys and behavioral studies from the US and Denmark to try to figure out if the novel and relatively new internet was somehow making normal human beings hostile. But as the researchers point out on Twitter, they found no real evidence for that. Perhaps people are hateful online by accident, struggling contained emotion in this novel environment. We outlined three hypotheses. Hypothesis A: people change their behavior when discussing politics online. Even otherwise nice people turn hostile. You know, the Surprisingly, we found no evidence for this hypothesis. Across representative samples, we found remarkably high correlations between self-reports of online and offline political hostility. The people hateful on Twitter, I found others in face-to-face conversations too. Hypothesis B: also people selecting to online discussions, so it's not nice people behaving badly, but bad people occupying online platforms. We find mixed evidence. Still people talk about politics both online and offline, and nice people select out of online environments. Caveat: the latter result, nice people selecting out, did not replicate our latest U.S. sample, which we collected already during COVID-19. We can't be sure if it's the pandemic or something else. More research needed. Hypothesis C: people perceive hostility to be worse online. While so far we focused on offenders, perhaps the worst problem is that victims tend to suffer more from protracting online quarrels, but our data shows that if anything, offline debates are more taxing emotionally. We formulate that an alternative to the mismatch in explanations, the connectivity hypothesis too is rooted in avopsych dominating others by discussion and coercion, is a sure way to gain status. Perhaps status-seeking individuals are offensive in all environments, and the bad PR of online environments is due to the mechanical effects of increased connectivity and visibility. Put differently, why most people worry about online echo chambers, paradoxically, the problem may be too much exposure to people. We would reliably avoid the offline world echoing such arguments. Our results are the most consistent with this explanation. Status-driven risk-taking is a very reliable predictor of both online and offline hostility, and frequently talking about Paul. Besides, people report most asymmetry when witnessing online hostility against strangers. To sum up, we find no evidence that the mismatch is a major factor behind online hostility. Check out the full paper for more theory. Basically, the study indicates that assholes online are regularly like assholes offline, In short, if you're a hostile person online, you're probably a hostile person offline. And while Facebook has lots of obvious problems on a wide variety of fronts, it's not inherently responsible for somehow creating human dysfunction that already existed. The researchers told engineering and society and technology that online debates seem more hostile because hostile players simply have a bigger bullhorn, and the resulting chaos they create has much broader visibility than it would in the offline world. Our research shows that the reason that many people feel that online political discussions are so hostile has to do with the visibility of aggressive behavior online. Online discussions occur in large public networks, and the behavior of an internet troll is much more visible than the behavior of the same person in an offline setting, says Michael Bang Peterson, professor of political science at the Science of the University. Obviously, none of this is to say online platforms don't have a responsibility to do a better job of protecting users from violence, hostility, racism, or general jackassery, nor does this mean that the ad-based internet ecosystem, be it press or social media, doesn't have a problem with amplifying inflammatory bullshit, resulting in numerous business models where inflammatory bullshit is more profitable than boring old factual reality, but it does suggest that terrible people are inherently terrible. In contrast, the claim on some front that the internet is magically creating them. As Gizmodo notes, researchers fairly consistently suggest that toxic online political discussions are disproportionately driven by malicious individuals taking advantage of the megaphone offered. One study published in the Personality and Individual Index journal in 2007 found that the most aggressive online trolls may be high in cognitive empathy, which allows them to identify when they're pushing someone else's buttons, but low in effective empathy, enabling them to avoid feeling bad or internalizing the suffering they cause, whereas I'm the complete opposite. You know, Berkman Klein Design Center for Internet and Society at Harvard affiliate data engineer wrote for Bennington Magazine that as platforms have optimized for connectedness, they have negligently optimized for the growth of mob-like community is connecting around noxious yet identifying any identity defining goals. One study in the International Journal of Public Opinion Research found that a bleed over effect in which nasty online comments increase perceived bias in a news blog post to which they are connected, essentially dragging down the whole discussion with them. Again, the internet clearly creates a wide swath of new problems we need to overcome through scientific and democratic processes with the hindsight of experience. And it's abundantly clear that the process is going to be downright ugly at times. But again, it's not the internet magically creating armies of assholes. It's just the broader window into an amplifier for the parades of assholes that were already there. Indeed. In other words, trolls are going to troll. So, it's not, that so much that the total internet fuckwad theory holds sway. Apparently, the research has debunked that and proven that, people online that behave as dicks online are dicks offline as well. It is really just that internet people that are assholes take advantage of the greater, platform that being a member of cyberspace gives them. Honestly, you can say what you want about me, virgin, all this other stuff. Yeah, you side with women, how dare you, and all this other stuff that you wanna hurl at me. But at least I'm not mean, because to me that is the worst. That is way worse than all of those things, you know. So fuck you, man. And plus, you can call me mean, but the thing about me is that I never start it. I just finish it.